Hey, welcome to Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay podcast, brought to you by CKJ Live, inspiring everyday people, enlightening them with life-changing information, and empowering them to live in truth. In the words of Nova Bordelon from the popular TV show Queen Sugar, speaking truths start conversations. Well, let's get ready to have some necessary conversations to create some necessary life changes. Join me in Truthfully Speaking. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay. I'm glad to have you all this evening. This show will be brought to you by CKJ Live Productions. So be on the lookout for more episodes. For those that are new to our show, Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay is simply just a podcast that creates a platform for the everyday person to share their thoughts, things that are near and dear to them on their heart. Our goal is to simply enlighten you, empower you, and encourage you to live in truth. So thank you for joining us tonight. We won't be before you long, but tonight is a hot topic. If you've been with us for a while, you'll know that we normally go live on Tuesdays, on Truthful Tuesdays, but today was such an important topic that I ran across that I really, really wanted to discuss, and I did not want to wait until next week. So I asked my guest here today, Mr. Terrence Milford, my mister, to join me in a discussion. So if you've seen the flyer today, you know that what we're talking about is really, really an important topic. Now, I don't mean to make light of the topic, but simply what we're talking about is essentially keeping your hands to yourself, right? And the topic stemmed from, if you're a sports fan or if you've even a social media fan, you've probably seen memes and videos flying around on Twitter and Facebook that displays this altercation that took place at a Pittsburgh Steelers game on Sunday evening. So before we jump right into the topic, I want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. I see we do have a few guests. Terrence is going to help me with monitoring our chats so that we both can kind of stay in frame here. I'm going to alter this camera a little bit to get him in more, but he's going to help me with monitoring our chat. So feel free, drop your thoughts, your comments in the chat, because we going live. I brought him on because I wanted to have a very real conversation. So it's not scripted like any of my other shows. It's not scripted. We didn't pre-plan or prepare other than me asking him, hey, you want to go on my show tonight? And so I don't even know his thoughts about the topic. He doesn't know my thoughts about the topic. But what I do want to do is just kind of create space for us as well as individuals who may have thoughts about the incident that took place to just share how you feel about it. So do me a favor. I'm going to ask you if you can scoot up a little bit so you can come in camera more. Thank you. There you go. We can see you. But we really just want to talk about this situation. So before we jump into it, I'll give Terrence an opportunity to say hello. And then I want to share the video. You won't be able to hear the audio because I'm using my microphone tonight. But I do want to share the video to kind of preference what we'll be talking about. Any event you have not seen this. And it is on my page if you do want to watch it later with sound. But I'll go ahead and let Terrence introduce himself.
Hi, guys. I am grateful and honored to be on the Truthfully Speaking podcast with Dr. Nay. Thank you so much, my dear. Not only is she a great person, great friend, but she's a great podcast host. And again, I'm just delighted to have an opportunity to share this topic and to just kind of talk about it and really get it out there from my perspective and to really just chop it up and see where it goes.
Very good. Very good. So we are excited. I'm going to go ahead and play this. I'm going to share my screen so that I can play this video for you all. So bear with us here. All righty here. Oh, it might allow me to share the audio. Let's see. All righty here. Hopefully you all can see this. Let's see.
She hit him first.
Yeah, she slapped him in his face.
Get his glasses. Somebody get his glasses.
So that's pretty much the gist of the conversation. Hopefully you guys were able to see that on video. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. But again, that is the beginning. It's about a 45-second clip. And it literally is an altercation that took place between a male and two other attendees of the game, a male and a female companion. Again, I want to preface this by saying we are not making light of the situation. This is not a race situation. This isn't any of that for me. This is a situation of male, female. For me, this is what I see when I first look at the screen. Now, if you hear the audio, there's some other things going on. I believe even there's some assumptions that are taking place because he is a Black male. But the first thing that struck out to me was people's comments about males, he hit her. And so I'm interested to know Terrence's thoughts and perspectives on it. And then I'll share a little bit about mine. And again, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to drop comments in the chat because we're going to get into it tonight, y'all. So what you got? Someone said I can see and hear. Okay, great, Denise. Thank you. Thanks, little sis. Thank you.
Awesome.
So T, what you got? What you see?
Listen, that man threw that 2-piece chicken wing at both of them, and I was just like, "Hey, get it for real." Because what I saw all kind of things. First, okay. I'm thinking domestic man and woman. That's the first thing. You don't really want to lay hands on a woman. But however, as a man and as a human, when you feel threatened and somebody's in your face, you don't know what your reaction is going to be. And she pushed that button. They both pushed the buttons really, really far. And then two, I saw if you
wait, quick question. I'm sorry. When you said they who? You mean they both?
The two, the Black man and the white woman.
Oh.
They're both in each other's face for no telling how this thing started. Mm-hmm. We don't know the context behind it. But if you've been to any football games, if you've been to any kind of sporting events, people get crazy about their sports teams. They get crazy about sports teams. If you can't see, if you're too loud, if you're for the opposite team, people get crazy. And for her to stay in his face for all that time, invading his whole area and then tell him to leave and all these kind of things, and then put her hand up in a threatening manner. Oh man, no. It struck me. It struck me as a defense mechanism. And then even watching him, he didn't buck up and go to hit her, strike her with a real strong force. He struck force at the guy. With her, it was more of a defense. And he actually, if you watch the video again, you see where he was holding her back in a couple frames. Yeah. So, you never condone violence, but man, when you're threatened, I'm sorry. Sometimes you got to lay them hands, and the man got the brunt of the hands on the other side.
Yeah, he got the mouth sauce. He did get the mouth sauce. Well, thank you for sharing, guys. Feel free to drop your comments in the chat. Let us know what you think. So if you'll notice, I'm intentionally holding a coffee mug that says peace. I am promoting peace on all fronts, domestic, in the streets. To the topic for tonight was, to throw them bowls or not throw them bowls. If you remember, Ludacris had a song out called Southern Hospitality, where the hook of the song was throw them bowls. And if you know anything about the streets, or if you're from the South Side or the West Side or any side of your town where bowls might be a regular occurrence, then you understand that throwing those bowls mean, pretty much getting into a fight. So thank you for sharing your perspective. I would have to say I agree. I watched it a few times and my mouth just dropped open because I personally could not. Let me preface this. All we have is those 45 seconds, right? So we don't know what preceded the event. And we don't know how it ended. I do understand that the police are investigating the event. They do want to get to the bottom of it. But we don't know how it started. But what I saw and what it appeared to be to me was they were arguing. And she invaded his space by reaching towards him. He even then did not attempt to strike her per se. He kind of put his hand up in self-defense to block her from hitting him. And then you heard him say, "Don't put your hands on me." And then she swung on him. That's tough. But then I got to give the brother credit. Because even then there was still some restraint there because he didn't strike her. He still was like what I saw was him like, look, you a woman. Let me go. I'm going to shove you. I'm going to push you. I'm going to try to deflect, get you out of my way. But the young man sitting down, her, I'm assuming companion or partner, whoever was there with her, the companion, they were arguing back and forth, and it almost appeared as though the companion initiated a statement to him, and so he directed his attention towards the companion, and then she continued to get up and swing and try to, be tough Tony or tough Tina, whoever she wanted to be in the moment, and I understand adrenaline because, I'm a little tough sometimes too, but, I don't really think I was trying to aim to get hit in the stands of the Steelers game or any other game. But needless to say, the altercation then became with him and the companion. And even in him swinging and hitting this companion, homegirl still went to now y'all gonna jump the man. And so to, the point earlier about, I don't necessarily feel like this started out, or maybe it was not, because she yelled things at him like, you can get out. And I don't know if she thought that was her house or what, but she yelled at him that he could get out. And, we don't know what else was occurring. And, other than him saying, hey, don't put your hands on me. And they continued to, and then he got into a fight with the guy. She continued to want to swing. And at some point he gave her a little coleslaw. The other guy got the 2-piece spicy with mild salt, and pepper, but she got the coleslaw. She got a little bit of that love too, because she was asking for some love. She wasn't getting the attention she was striving to get. I don't really know what it was. They say the curl just didn't quite curl. She wasn't quite getting what she was looking for, so she got a little bit of extra. So she got that little side cup that be all squished down. And nobody know what that is with the chicken, but okay. But I don't condone violence per se, but I do condone individuals defending themselves. I'm not gonna deny that. I condone peace, and when peace can't be had, then you got to defend yourself.
Right. Well, listen, I got something else to say too, which I am proud of. Okay. I'm proud that it didn't turn to a race thing, because the other white people who were involved in that did not jump on the guy. Mm-hmm. They didn't crowd him. It was like, okay, we got to get some peace here. And I don't know if they didn't want the fight, if they didn't want none of them hands he was throwing. I don't know. But it was good. And then you saw there was a sister next to him at the end. She didn't jump in, because if that was her man or not, she realized, hey, you got this. I ain't got to help with none of this. Yeah. She stood on the side and was talking. And then if you listen to the video, you hear people saying, like, look, she swung first. Mm-hmm. She touched him. So, yeah. It's definitely, it has no gender. I mean,
that's what Rahel said. Thanks for tuning in, Rahel. Rahel said, heads up has no gender.
Zero.
That's what James said, coleslaw. Yeah, James, you know about that coleslaw, that Harold's, that be the little paper cup, the coleslaw that give you about this big. It's a tease.
Oh, yeah, she got that.
Denise said, I understand and agree with Terrence's stance. As a mother of a son, I teach and encourage my son to keep his hands to himself. I also don't want anyone hitting or striking my son. Women need to also keep their hands to themselves. It does look like in all frames that his aggression was towards the companion, her companion. The boyfriend definitely got the 2-piece spicy, maybe with a little hot sauce on the side. My cousin Natasha said it was like he was addressing a male companion and she intervened. Agreed, Tasha, agreed. Yeah. She said, I couldn't believe that she had the nerve to slap that man in his face and then be offended. Yes, cousin, then be offended when the man defended himself back. But here's the kicker, even on that. Like he kept giving him grace. He kept giving her grace. Like with each shove and each push and each, it's kind of like, gone girl, gone girl, gone little girl. All right, you asking for it, so it's a tough, it's tough and it's unfortunate, all the way around. Nakia said, if you hit me, I hit you back. What your mama say? You big enough to pass a lick, you better be bad enough to take a lick.
Yeah, but listen, he had time enough to straighten his glasses. That's what threw me off. I was like, okay, now he's throwing them hands. I was like, dang, that fool had a chance to readjust, focus, and throw them hands. Oh, come on.
He did do one of those. Yeah. And at some point he lost the glasses, because in the end you can hear someone saying, hey, someone get his glasses. Yeah. But again, it's unfortunate. Again, this isn't to make light of the situation that occurred, because no one knows what preceded that, what was said before that. Mm-hmm. And to me, the fact that she kept invading this man's space, and that she continued to get in his face, and then she swung on him. Everything that happened before that, that's the but. So everything that happened before that is negated.
Listen, I felt a sense of pride, though. I don't know how many of us felt that pride, but because it was us and them and the way it went down, and it wasn't, a major retaliation, and he laid them hands and nobody lynched him afterwards, I was like, okay, Karen got what she deserved. If whoever her name is, she's a Karen, because Karen is in every grocery store, at every football game, you see a Karen, and she got it. So good for her. Yeah. That's my opinion.
So I'm going to let you answer Rahel's question. Rahel said, I want to know why her man took too long to tell her to sit down.
I think it's the entitlement thing, though. Okay. I think it's the entitlement because, he's sitting there at a Steelers game. Majority of the people around him look like him, so he didn't feel like it was going to be a threat. If anything, there's that privilege like, hey, this guy, my girl or whoever she is just having an argument. I'm sitting back and watching. That was his perspective until she crossed the line. She crossed that line. Now, then he steps up and sees now I got to try and protect. And he caught the brunt of his anger because evidently black man was getting upset. He was getting upset. He was getting angry. And unfortunately, that aggression came out of them hands, so the guy knocked him down.
Yeah. He barely was able to get up, though. Y'all know him. Yeah, if you know anything about me, I like to demonstrate things. So it was kind of like the guy was up and went back down in one swoop motion. But no, seriously, James agreed with you. James said, yes, indeed. Denise said, Terrence is preaching. Always. Always.
Man, listen. I was proud. I was like, yeah, get it. One more for me.
James said, night.
That's right.
Toya said, hey, Toya said, listen, I would not have been mad if he gave her a love tap. He caught himself from giving her the business. Okay, Rahel, peace. Rahel reminded me of my peace mug. But so it's a tough situation. But it was a hot topic that I felt like, listen, I need to hear some other people's thoughts on it because I didn't see it. We were traveling over the weekend. And so we came back Monday. And so I did not see it until today. But when I saw it, I was just like, she really did that. And she really thought it was okay. And the interesting thing to me is no one around felt the need to break up, intervene, get involved, say anything until the brother defended himself. Now, when she was all in his face, pointing and neck rolling and, all of this, nobody said anything. Nobody tried to make her sit down. Even her own man, like Rahel said, her own man didn't say, hey, babe, come on, calm down. Let's not escalate this. Let's let people enjoy the game. But she wanted to be tough Tina, and she got slapped like Tina. But but no one said anything until the brother defended himself. So I want to know what you all think. So Corey said, hey, family. Hey, Corey. Natasha said, my cousin said, I think she runs things. That's why he didn't say anything, because she kept telling him to sit down after he got beat. You absolutely right. Then she wanted to try to sit him down. No. You didn't understand the sit down rule when it was time. So, so what do you guys think? So someone says that it appears as though basically the lady kind of runs the relationship, or she kind of is the more dominant one, I'll say, in the relationship. What do you guys say? Drop it in the chat. Why do you feel like no one got involved until the brother defended himself? Is it did it become people felt threatened because it was a black man, or did it just feel threatened because it was male or female? What are you all's thoughts on that? What's your thought on that, T?
Well, again, being in those sports environments, depending on what section you're sitting in, because they weren't in the expensive seats, they were in the middle tier seats. And then it's preseason, so they might have came down, might not be able to sit in that section. So you had a mix of people who were trying to watch the game. You got a mix of people. I mean, again, at these football games, you see all kind of foolishness because folks be drinking too much and just overindulging, and they get kind of rowdy. But they don't get to the point of breaking out in fights for the most part. So I think everybody was kind of assessing the situation, watching like, okay, how far is this going to go and what's going to happen? And when it went off, even then, people weren't jumping in. They were kind of like, oh, man, how do I stop this? Until he stopped throwing them hands, that's when they came in and were trying to help. So, again, I don't feel bad. Gloom and doom. You should have stepped back. She should have moved back a little bit, and he should have reached out to her and said, "Look, sit down, babe. You crossing the line or something." Somebody, and even then, and I'll flip the script too. Both of them could have walked away. He could have.
When you say both,
Karen could have walked away, and Tyson could have walked away. The Jamaican Tyson, because he stood there and allowed her to whatever she was saying. He was absorbing it. He was just like, "Yo, I ain't moving. Keep talking. I'm trying to ignore you." So at some point, it popped off the way it did because neither one of them wanted to humble themselves. And she got the brunt and he got the brunt of that whole situation.
Yeah, it was, they were both standing their ground. Whatever that was, whatever preceded that, they definitely were both standing their ground for sure. So that's definitely clear. But yeah, any other comments or thoughts that you all have from our audience? Again, thank you for tuning in. If you were not with us at the very beginning, we are discussing the incident, the altercation that took place between three fans at a Pittsburgh Steelers game on Sunday evening. The situation, I do have the video on both of my pages, my Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay Facebook page, as well as my personal page. Feel free to look at the video on your own time. We did show it at the beginning of this broadcast, but we were really just trying to get your perspective. Terrence and I, again, we did not pre-script. We didn't even have a conversation about it. I sent him a link. It was like, look, I know you may already have seen this, but I want to talk about this tonight on my show. Can you join me? We didn't talk about it. We didn't pre-plan. I didn't get an understanding of what his perspective was and vice versa. So we're really having a very first conversation about this live, and I really want to get more of your thoughts on it. So drop some final comments or thoughts in the chat. I'll say this, and I think we all have learned lessons growing up, right? We all, people drop comments, you big enough to pass a lick, you better be bad enough to take one. And you hit me, I'm hitting you back. And, all of those things have been true. But as we become adults and we are, moving about this world, people move different now, even with COVID-19 now, to invade someone's space. I don't even think the women had a mask.
Nobody had no mask on. Nobody had no mask. No.
I was about to wrap the show up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some mask up on it. Nobody had a mask on. And
nothing. They had nothing.
They didn't do that.
It was all up.
So, yeah. So that's another thing. So to be in somebody's space like that, in this environment, and, you don't know people's status, and so to be in that setting and to be in her space and his space and you arguing, so, spit is flying. If you really, the way the neck was flowing and the spit was flying, that, secretions are flying across the space outside or not. And so that's a whole nother conversation. But to my point, you can't invade someone's space like that in this environment and not expect some type of repercussion, even if it's a verbal repercussion. People have a right to defend themselves. People have a right to want to feel safe. And you, as an individual, have an obligation to respect that. You may not like it, but you got an obligation to respect it. Because if not, guess what? It comes with consequences. And that consequence could look like a 2-piece with spicy with a look paper cup of coleslaw and some mild sauce on the side and get you on the Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay podcast being broadcasted and talked about. That's what it could look like as a consequence. Any other comments in the chat? I don't see any other comments in the chat. But again, promoting peace at all costs. Definitely promoting peace. We definitely want individuals to be safe, practice safety, feel safe. You have a right to feel safe in a public environment as well. But then you also have a right to protect yourself and defend yourself at all costs. Could it have looked like, sometimes protecting yourself looks like walking away, like Terrence just mentioned. Sometimes standing your ground is not the best thing to do. But at the end of the day, no one has the right to put their hands on you. And this is specifically if any individuals that are in domestic situations or in an environment where you feel like, I don't ever want you to feel like as a man, you can't defend yourself. And as a woman, you can't defend yourself or you can't speak up for yourself. Because first of all, I'm one of the first women that will speak up for myself or defend myself if I felt the need to. But do it with wisdom. And sometimes defending yourself means putting yourself in a safer environment or walking away from a situation or a circumstance to help diffuse it. People have lost the art of diffusion. They don't even pay attention to, to how can diffusion benefit this situation? How would we best benefit? How would everyone win by diffusing the situation? Had he walked away, the situation could have been diffused. Now, if she continued to walk up on him, then, if he turned around and swung, then she was asking for that, to be quite honest. But by walking away, the situation could have been diffused. They would not have ended up on the news. The person recording 3 rows back that has zoomed in wouldn't have had, footage to share worldwide. And she could have diffused the situation. Her partner could have diffused the situation or tried to diffuse the situation by encouraging her to sit down and, have a conversation. I do want to say something. Terrence brought up a point earlier that I don't want us to gloss over. I think, too, as women, we have to learn how to let our men be men. And if that situation, I'm not saying it was because we don't know what happened, but I do understand from the video that the 2 men were engaging in conversation back and forth, and she appeared to continue to kind of butt in. So I don't know if it started with her and then transitioned to the guy or whatever it is, but it should be noted that even if that was the case, even if the situation started with her and him, the moment this man get involved in it, I ain't got nothing else to say. At this point, it's 2 men having a conversation, and I don't have to double team somebody with him. When my man step up to the plate to defend me, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. And so it seemed like she was then trying to defend the man, and then when he got the 2-piece spicy, she wanted go and sit down, just go on. We don't.
It's okay.
It's okay. No, it's it wasn't okay a few minutes ago. And so I do think that as women, we have to understand that. We have to allow our men to be men, and it's a man's job to protect us, and it's a man's job to stand up in those types of situations. And so we just have to do a better job of allowing our men to be men, and not stepping on a manhood. How that look, your woman defending you. I wish we would be walking down the street and not step up and defend him. Look, y'all see him? Look, y'all see this? I wish I would. I wish I would. But guys, that's all I have for you this evening. We've been chatting probably almost 30 minutes now. If you have any final comments, thoughts, questions, feedback, feel free to drop it in the chat. I do want to encourage you all to go follow. I'm all over the place now. Thanks to CKJ Live. Hey, Corey, if you're still on. Guys, check us out. Follow my YouTube page. The links are scrolling across your screen. Follow my YouTube page. I am on YouTube, Dr. Nay. I'm on Apple Tunes. I'm on, iTunes podcast. I'm on Amazon podcast. I'm on iHeartRadio. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Spreaker. So I'm all over the place, y'all. So go follow me. Follow, like, and subscribe. Definitely follow my Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay Facebook page, which is this page that you are viewing our broadcast on. And be on the lookout for more content. We're going to continue keeping this thing going. It started as, me hosting a show for my cousin celebrating the 1-year anniversary of her nonprofit organization earlier in March. And it just kept going from there. So this is something that I've always wanted to do, and excited to be working with CKJ Live to kind of help with the production and getting the show out there in different platforms. And so we're super excited about that. But continue to share. Tell a friend. We'll continue coming every month with new episodes and new content and trying different formats and things out till we really figure out what works best for the show. So again, tonight was just a hot topic. Thank you to my guest, Mr. Terrence Milford, my love, for joining me in this conversation. And thank you to each of you who tuned in. Definitely feel free to share. And again, like. And I'm going to drop those links in the chat as well for you guys. But definitely, guys, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time this evening. And we didn't want to be before you long, like we said, like the Southern Baptist preachers say, we didn't want to be before you long. And we told the truth. So, because we truthfully speak here on Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay. So again, catch us next month for a new episode of Truthfully Speaking with Dr. Nay. In the meanwhile, you can catch our previous episodes on any of those other platforms that I mentioned. Thank you guys for your time this evening. And remember, choose peace. All right. Take care. He said, "Nuck if you buck. Don't nuck if you buck. Choose peace." Says a man that's been in Louisiana for over 20 years. Thanks, guys. Have a blessed evening. Love you guys. Take care. Peace.